And we're right back. Traeger is still hunting us. He's searching the beds. Now, this is the part where most people would make the mistake. They would try to rush the boss and not really take their time. And considering that most people who play these Outlast games are not horror fans and have zero survival instinct whatsoever, this is the biggest mistake. They don't have the patience to wait. They want to rush it as quickly as possible. But with bosses like Trager, who have a certain patrolling area, you want to take that time. As you see, he's just left. This would be the opportune moment. You can wait maybe the other 10 seconds or so at most. But Trager will actually eventually come around that corner. We're going to wait right here for a minute. As you can hear, Trager is right around that area in that hallway. And since this is basically just one giant circle, what he's going to do is he's going to patrol that entire circle, that full rotation, usually, depending where your person's actually at. It's usually how they design the NPCs to make them smart enough to patrol certain areas so their characters or the player doesn't get overly confident, but gives them enough comfortability to where they feel comfortable enough to move around, but can still try to figure out where the boss is actually going to patrol the area itself. It's one of the fascinating ways of actually designing a horror game. You really want to throw the player off, but you don't want to give it to the point where they're going to be completely hopeless and not be able to do anything. And just like that. Oh shit, what the hell? Well, excuse me, I was a little wrong on that part. I was expecting Trager to be there. That one kind of threw me for a loop. Shut up. I'll give you something to holler about. That's interesting because I'm pretty sure that was a dead end. So that means that they actually purposely made Traeger's second spawn point to actually be there to give you that overconfidence. Like, okay, you figured out Traeger's pathway, it's just going to be a quick run while he's on the other side, and then suddenly his second spawn point is going to be appearing right there, even though in most of the ways they're a complete dead end. Your only one exit is events, and kind of, throw the player off, which is actually really interesting itself. Oh, I didn't even check what the hell time was. I was even going to start this damn thing yet. I love when my phone doesn't like to turn on. 1 second, guys. Alright. So it'll be the last one before I actually have to go into work and stuff like that too, so. Okay. I'm assuming he's going to come through that door. There's a dead in there, dead in there. There's a wall there, so that's going to be our only entrance. So I'm assuming Trager will come through that way. So really our only chance is going to hide on one of the beds. Usually you want to choose the most closest bed. So let's do that. Give it a look around here real quick. Don't see any batteries. Usually I recommend we enter a new area like this, especially if you don't know the boss's terrain, but you do have hiding spot that. Give about 5 or 10 seconds, listen to the sounds of the game itself. If you hear footsteps of Trager walking around, or any of the boss, like Barbecue Sauce Man, as I call him, or Chris Walker as his character name is, it gives you more time to adjust to the game, adjust to the area, adjust to the sounds, so that okay, this is, only one way, he's going to be here within that, 1 3-second time lapse, and where he's actually going to walk through that door, he's going to patrol an area, and then you can actually time your way through that, because with Outlast there's no save slots, and auto saves are kind of fickle in this game in certain areas too, so you really want to choose your judgments you know, very precisely how you want to actually, do you want to rush in there, or do you just want to hide in an area, take a quick breather, you know, and listen to the ambient sounds of the game and see if you can figure out if that boss is going to go through that door or not. Or multiple enemies like that too, so. There's a door here. But I'm assuming this is where the key is going to be. Do we have a key in here? Multiple phones. You'd think in an office there would be a key. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I know with the interaction of this, once you get the key, Trager will be on your ass like flies on crap. So, okay, we can't interact with that. So before, if you know it's the main objective item, I highly recommend, you know, test such areas first. Check the doors out, stuff like that. As we know that since that door doesn't open, this door is locked. Your only option is to go back through here. So Trager is most likely spawn point is either going to be within that area there, or is going to be over here. Most likely that area. It makes more sense, more clear pathway. Doesn't look like you can get through unless you can get through that broken window right there. So Trager will most likely be patrolling these areas. So grab the key, run back to the bed. You know, listen where Trager's going to be, and I'm assuming that's going to be either that way or this way. One of the two ways is going to lead back to the elevator, and that's how you will beat Trager. Now, or he could spawn in that other room in there, but I want to say most likely will not. Well, this is not how I wanted. Dude, you are facing the bed the wrong goddamn way. Why would you face this way, out of all idiotic ways to face? It's like running in a horror movie and and the person looks back. It's like, no, you don't do that. You just keep running. Oh shit, he actually found me. That's pretty ingenious, actually. Not as ingenious as that. I think elevator's this way, right? Yep. Oh yeah! Hey, that's how you beat Trager. Only died once to him. Bye, Trager. That's a hell of a way to go too. And real life accidents actually happen like that too. You know, especially with people who, you know, who have claustrophobia. You get stuck in an elevator, you start panicking. You know, your elevator gets into that area where it has like maybe this much of room, maybe a little more, and they think, well, you know, I'm a skinny enough person, I can squeeze through there, only not realizing that most elevators have some sort of backup generated power, and then, well, you're basically half the person you actually were. In a quite literal sense. So Trager's dead, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. But like I said, blind playthrough, most of it's going to be, but at the same time it's going to be somewhat of a guide for you guys too. So, especially people who are not into horror games, stuff like that. So. God, I think we still have Deal Barbecue Sauce Man, and I think Father Martin is next, if I believe. Thankfully, he's not a boss, just an interactive NPC who captures your ass and sticks you in this goddamn asylum instead of actually helping you escape. But I want to say we're done with the twins, Ted and Ed, but I'm not 100% sure. Teamwork, team player award, Patrick Pechna? Employee of Markov Corps who's best to amplifies the team concepts. Yeah. Bunch of nut jobs is what you guys are. Got no batteries here? No batteries? I mean, you could easily break through one of these windows, too. Why your character doesn't. I mean, a lot of stuff in this game doesn't make a lot of sense either. Why your character just continues to stick around in this goddamn asylum. You have several windows, I'm pretty sure, are not bulletproof glass, you know, and yet you could easily escape. But your character continues to go through. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Hey, it's Father Martin. Or Outlast version of Uncle Fester.
Thank God you survived. I feared that secular maniac would carve you up like the others. Meet me outside. We're close now.
How about you actually just let me out of the goddamn asylum? So far, it's my first time playing Outlast. I'm actually enjoying the game. Like I said, when it comes to horror games, I actually like to break them down to somewhat guides to actually help people out and stuff like that too. And just for my own, you know, brain thinking power of like, how can I beat this boss? Is there certain strategies or certain exits, certain ways, certain things you have to do? Is this boss actually technically invincible? Is there no actual way of escaping him? Do you have to hide just a certain amount of time? You know, one giant ass puzzle that just keeps your brain thinking. This guy is set on fire in a goddamn sink. Okay. Takes the whole meaning to homemade barbecue, but you know, whatever's supposed to be good, I guess. Doing a time check here. We have like 11 minutes left. So what are we working with here? Hallway. Okay, so this is where we're. Alright, so let's go to this hallway then. Bright here. Does our character have a reflection, or they just block that out too? Okay, so they purposely didn't actually design a character reflection in the mirror. Usually they black it out, or they'll actually put in the game if it's reasonable enough to put in there, but most people usually don't, especially if it's like a first person mode game like this anyways. They're not going to put like a third person character view in the mirror. Very few games actually ever do that if it's completely necessary or not. It's like a window. I'm assuming we have to go through the window. Okay, yeah. A little smoky in here. We got like a smoker's lounge going on in this place. Oh, propane tanks, and this place is being caught on fire. Oh yeah, that's gonna end real well. I'm sure even like old school heaters like this too are all propane filled too. Or no, not propane, gas, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this looks like a lot of fun.
I had to burn it.
Hey, a normal person. Or close to normal.
Murkoff took so much from us. Used us. Turned us into these things because nobody cares about a few forgotten lunatics. So let it burn. Burn the whole goddamn thing down.
Right there with you, brother.
Get out. If you want to live, you can get out through the kitchen.
I mean, I don't blame him, man. Where the hell did we go? Can we just jump up there? No? Okay. Why did I get roasted alive? Where the hell do I go? Where the hell do I go? Oh. No? Oh, they got a goddamn maze in this shit. But he's right though. It's like, why not just burn this place down? You know, it only makes sense. All the sick sadistic shit that they did to these people. You know, there's no point in keeping this building up and around. He's already got enough physical evidence as is anyways, but... Oh. I don't know. Outlast has never made any sense to me. Okay, this is like dark as shit in here. So, what the hell do I do? Now, if you remember last time we turned on a couple water pumps, we had a crazy lunatic who was trying to kill us with a goddamn pipe. Before we even turn it... Oh, shit, that's what I was worried about. I was wondering if we were going to be seeing barbecue sauce, man. Apparently I was right. I'm listening to his footsteps to see he's right outside the room too. He's patrolling that hallway. I don't know when our last autosave was. I do know once we activate that... Okay, he's busting down a door. I don't know what the hell door he was busting down. There's no water in the system. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, well, what we're gonna do, guys, is we're actually going to end the video here. We've got like 3 minutes left. Normally I'd proceed any further than that, but considering we have to run from him, it's going to take a little more time to pretty much map out his maneuvers and where he's going to patrol and stuff like that. So either way, stay safe, healthy, and anti-ice. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and leave comments below. Make sure to share my videos. And I hope the Trager guide actually helps you guys out a lot to get past that boss. And like I said, I know it kind of sounds like a documentary / guide. You know, you're looking for that horror aspect, the screams, the jump scares, stuff like that. That's just not me. You know, I'm trying to help players out who are actually afraid to play horror games like this, struggling against a boss like Trager or something like that, and help them trying to, you know, find that smoother pathway so when they actually do their second or third playthroughs, you know, they know how to, you know, pretty much work the boss. But I'll see you guys in the next video.